Hey everybody, this is Fernando from the Rollback Podcast, and this is a very unorthodox way of reviewing, but it is Sunday, and what I like to do on Sundays is grill, because that is my meal prep for the week. It just gives me structure, and it is what I like to do. So, but yes, what I'm here to do today is to review the newest movie by the director from It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Sorry, smoke got in my eyes. Barbarian. Now, this movie is starring, what's his face? Skarsgård. Georgia Campbell, and Justin Long. Now, originally I had filmed my review outside of the theater in the boiling hot sun. Now I'm reviewing it in the boiling hot sun in my backyard while grilling. But let's get on with it. So, the movie follows along this woman who goes to Detroit for a job interview, and lo and behold, she rents out an Airbnb that is being rented out already. She is double booked, and from there on, things ensue. But yes, things ensue. So, first and foremost, I fucking love this movie. The trailer does not show much, and that is one thing that I absolutely love, because I feel like most of the time trailers show too much, and next thing you know, you're just kind of like, that's too much, I'm not really into it anymore, and there, so on and so forth. Now, for me, this trailer shows just the right amount of stuff that you are just like, alright. Like, I'd mess with this movie. This movie definitely has a good premise. This movie has plenty of suspense, which, one thing I've had a problem with as of late with horror movies is that they tend to be, what's the word for it? They tend to be very artsy and very annoying, if that makes any sense. For me, horror movies, I grew up with slasher films, such as Friday the 13th. Scream was hot when I was growing up, and even possession films like The Exorcist. Paranormal Activity came out when I was in high school. For me, horror movies are always meant to be something that everyone can get into. And as of late, the only thing that has really been popping out as far as horror goes is those artsy horror movies like The Witch, Hereditary, for example. Which one else? Midsommar. A24 movies. I fucking hate those movies. Those movies fucking bore the piss out of me. Like, they are so fucking boring. Every time I watch them, I'm just like, this is fucking boring, and no way in shape or form scary. Every single time I watch those movies. For me, some of the best horror movies are the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, the reboot in 2003. That one I fucking love. That one came out when I was about 9 years old, and that one scared the piss out of me when I was a kid. Now, am I saying that every horror movie has to be a slasher? No. But I feel like once you start taking out the element of anyone can get into this, it makes horror movies, it gives them a bad name, and you tend to find out that horror is in a bad spot, and this movie I felt was a real good addition to the new horror franchises, because let's face facts here, the slasher movie genre is kind of dead. The newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre I thought was actually really fun, enjoyable, especially if you like those horror movies, but the slasher film genre is kind of on the back end. We only have maybe one more movie left with Halloween Ends. So this movie, what this movie does really well is the suspense. It keeps you on the edge of your feet. So every time you're watching this movie, you're thinking like, like something's gonna pop out. Something's gonna pop out. And for me, I love that feeling. I love the feeling of being scared. I love the feeling of horror movies. I feel like that is just an adrenaline rush. A small one at that. But it's such a fun feeling. Like, slasher films gave me irrational fears as a kid. Scream made me afraid to go to the bathroom by myself. At home, I always had to keep the shower curtain open. Scream 2 made me irrationally afraid of the theater bathrooms because of the stabbing that happens in the first scene, and in the theater. But yeah, like, this movie gives you an irrational fear of getting an Airbnb because you never know what the fuck's gonna be in there. Sorry, Eddie, you're gonna have to edit that one. You're gonna have to bleep that one out. But yeah, like, you don't know what's gonna be in there. The cast in this movie is really good. Skarsgård, Georgia, and Justin Long all play their parts incredibly well. They're all incredibly entertaining in this movie, and I had no problem watching this movie. It's about 2 hours long, not crazy long like Midsummer, and it keeps you interested from beat to beat to beat. So if you're looking for a movie that is enjoyable, I'd say go check it out. I know Orphan the First Kill is out also. Me personally, I want to recommend it, especially if you could watch it on Paramount Plus. I watched it and it was trash. I thought it was trash. You're waiting 10 years, over 10 years to do a sequel to this movie where the girl or the actress in this movie looks 40 years old when she's actually 25. Like, it's so dumb. But Barbarian is a fresh intro to horror and just really well done with a great cast. Especially if you like thrillers and suspense where it just keeps you on the edge of your feet. I don't want to give away too much because this movie goes in so many different directions that I don't want to give anything away, so I'm just going off of what was in the trailers. So yeah, if I had to rate this movie, I usually go on a 5-star scale, and I'll usually give this movie, this type of movie, especially because I really enjoyed it, 4.5 stars. The only gripe that maybe I would have is just that it could have been longer if it wanted to, but in reality, it was perfect. The length that it was, you weren't bored, you're very entertained with this movie. So I would really highly suggest check this movie out, give it a shot, and please check us out. So this is very weird for me. I don't usually do video reviews, but I told Eddie I'd give it a shot, and this is my first video review. Feels awkward because I'm mostly audio, but yes, 4 out of 5 stars. Check it out. Support your local theater. But yeah, that is it, everybody. That is it for today's video review of Barbarian. Please check us out wherever you get your podcast needs. YouTube, Google, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get them, we are there. Put out videos and audio Wednesdays and Saturdays. Don't know when Eddie will be able to put this up, but I'll send it to him as quick as possible so that he can get it up ASAP. So yeah, that's it, everybody. This was a review for Barbarian. Let's cut it